Hello and welcome back to the Reality Check VR video. Today we're going to be looking at a first. That's right, something pretty exciting. What's going on? Casper's gonna get me. Casper's gonna... Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Reality Check VR video. Today we're going to be looking at a first. Today is going to be the consumer... That's right, there it is. Today we're looking at the Pico Neo, the world's first consumer 6 degrees of freedom virtual reality headset. And it comes with a little controller right here that uses ultrasonic technology. There you can see the ultrasonic emitter right there. And that is going to allow us to use this controller and headset in 6 degrees of freedom. Plus you've got 2 little cameras right there that are going to map your environment so you do not have to have anything to actually, connect to this headset at all, to actually walk around your room and use it, and it's supposed to be awesome. Much like what people have been looking at with the new Lenovo Mirage, as well as the Oculus Santa Cruz, these Freedom headsets allow us to have world scale, and I'm very, very excited to jump in and try this guy out. I haven't even put it on my head yet. I have no idea what it feels like or what it looks like. So I'm going to jump in right now. Okay, so the headset itself is actually very cool and sleek looking. It reminds me kind of the PlayStation headset of the PSVR. And it's got a 14 by 40 by 1600 resolution display in each eye. So you've actually got 2 different displays in each eye, 2 3.5 inch displays, and that is a total of 3K resolution for, of course, outstanding looking quality, and it does have 90 hertz refresh rate, which is like the most important thing. 90 hertz refresh rate is going to make sure that you do not get sick feeling when you're playing those VR games like you might get with 75 hertz or even 60 hertz especially. 90 hertz is exactly what the Oculus Rift CV1 has, so if you're a CV1 user you should be seeing very similar things to that. Also, it uses a Snapdragon 835 processor, and it has 4GB RAM with 128 gigabytes on the SD card that's located right above the sensor in the HMD. It also has built-in speakers here, so I'm going to show you this. If I open take the bottom part right here, you can see on the bottom here there's a built-in speaker and a built-in speaker right there as well, so when you wear it you actually will be able to hear at all times. Also, if you don't want those speakers, you can put in some headphones right there with the headphone jack up on top here, and that will allow you to have much more control over your audio right there. Also, as I said before, is you do have the ability to pull this cover off, and when you pull this cover off, you'll be able to take the memory card out, which is behind this piece of rubber up in here. So you can't see the memory card right now, but you can actually, like I said, pull this rubber off if you need to. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to try the headset out. I've never tried it just yet. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and put this guy on and try it out for the very first time. Okay, so the first thing you notice when you take the headset out of the box is it feels extremely nice. Not only that, it feels like the material is somewhat, it's hard to say, it's almost like it should be in the water. It reminds me of like the material on like that of a floaty device. It's kind of got that PVC type material to it, but it feels like it's going to get dirty very quickly. So you need to make sure your hands are clean when you're using this device, and definitely anybody that's been eating any food or has anything dirty on their hands whatsoever does not want to be touching this headset, because like I said, the headset does look like it can get dirty pretty easily. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put it on. First we have to take the lens protectors off on the inside. To turn the headset on, you hold down the button right here on bottom for about 2 seconds, 2 to 5 seconds, and you'll see a blue light come on. When the blue light comes on, the headset is powering on. Also, to turn the controller on, you hold down the button just for about 1 second, and you'll see the blue light starts to blink right there, and then it's connected. It'll actually turn solid, and that's how you know it's actually connected to the headset. So right now the headset and the controller are connected, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Lastly, if you want to put the headset on, the only thing you have to do for comfort is back here you've got 2 buttons, so you can make it tighter and you can push the button to make it larger. So first you want to make it as large as possible, and once you put it on your head, then you can tighten it simply by pushing the back together, and it automatically tightens the headset. So it seems to be pretty nicely made, and here we go. We're going to check it out. It fits very well right now, and what I can tell you from using it currently, everything's very clear, everything looks nice. There's a little bit of warping with the lenses that, when you get to the edges, that I can see quite a little bit. And lastly, one thing you'll notice with the controller, you can use this controller, but it doesn't actually move as far as your arm. It stays kind of right here. So you've got like this little kind of a short arm right next to you, and it moves around. So it feels like the controller is kind of stuck right here in the actual world. So no matter how far out I move it, it still responds perfectly as far as its orientation, but it stays right here kind of in this little spot and doesn't actually extend outwards at all. So right now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the apps and see if I can get some content going for the first time. But the very first thing it asks me right here is to sign into my Wi-Fi. So it tells me to enter the password, and I'm going to enter in my Wi-Fi password right now. And okay, so the very first thing I see when I jump in this game is I can see Wands, Free Throw Bomber, Slice Dice, VR Community, and Abyss. This uses not only the Pico store, but it also uses Viveport, and we should be able to get quite a few different games in here, but first it tells me it wants me to log on. Interesting. Like, oh, shoot. It's very weird. So this is the very first time I'm using some of the positional tracking, and yeah, the positional tracking works pretty well. As soon as I started going over here, it tells me, you have left the safe zone. Please take off your headset and return to the safe zone. So apparently it doesn't want me to walk too far away, at least here in the menu. It's got me in a hot air balloon, and I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do next. Alright, we'll go ahead and stop the recording for now. I'll have to sign in.
Can I move the controller around? Lift it up so I can kind of like... Awesome. Alright, now you can... Okay, that's what I've been doing. I've been holding this camera inside the actual device so you could see what it sees. And what's kind of cool is we started over here on this side of the room, but we were actually able to move all the way to the other side of the room. So anyways, we're going to keep messing with this and show you some more footage. Oh, we're inside the thing right now, but watch. I can walk out, and you turn around, and you see us walking away from it. See, now we're over here. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Alright, so now I've had the HMD for just over 48 hours and I've got a little bit of experience with the device and I'm very impressed with it. The tracking seems to be working very, very well for, being an all-in-one device. The 6 degrees of freedom is certainly there. As far as the controllers, you can hook up 2 controllers to one HMD and they do work just fine as far as you can move them up and down and you can rotate them all around. They do lose tracking from time to time, but it's very easy to hold down the middle button and put them back in the center. The one thing about them though is you do not have full range of motion like you do with an Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive. You can only move the controllers in a short little area around your body. Anyways, you can see here I am in a field and I'm just kind of testing out the tracking, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to see how well it worked. So I'm in the I'm in the hot air balloon and I can see the hot air balloon. I'm walking away from it. It's telling me I'm not in my safe area anymore, but astoundingly the hot air balloon stays perfectly still no matter what I do, and I'm walking around, just trying to throw it off, and it was very impressive with how it actually stuck to the same spot. So the tracking and the actual placement and world scale is spot on. I can say their device does a really good job. No matter if I'm running or looking around, it always kept me in the right 3D space. So yeah, you can see I'm kind of just acting like you would if you're doing like a sports game or something. And yeah, there was nothing that was throwing the world scale tracking on. Like I said, the hands were a little bit, weird, but that's because you don't have full range of motion, which I feel like I didn't really read that anywhere. So that's something I was pretty surprised to see when I put the headset on. One thing that really sticks with me after using this device is really the freedom. I mean, obviously we know that world scale means that we're going to be able to walk around, but the ability to go into like a warehouse and actually have a 3D exhibit in an HMD ready to go, especially if you already have it started in the right spot, it could really just be amazing. The amount of things that you can do with this as a developer is just unlimited. And the first thing I really want to do is jump into Unity and see if I can't, place some objects around a room and actually physically go then check that out. And then of course, certain experiences are going to have to then rely on sizes of fields. So, obviously you're going to need a baseball size field to do certain types of experiences, and that's really exciting to me. As somebody who likes to experience things as well as somebody who likes to dabble in development from time to time. So I'm really excited to see what people are going to do with this technology. Almost like a hide and seek type of a game would be one of the first things that I could think of that would be just extremely fun to do. Anyways, having said all this, one thing we need to keep in mind is the fact that this is early, and it hasn't technically been released yet, so there is probably a lot of different apps that are going to come that I haven't been able to see yet, and I'm going to have to wait on that. As far as my issues with the device itself, I don't have too many to complain about, other than the fact that, you know, the nose guard, it does a great job of keeping the light leak out, but at the same time it is somewhat hot and it can make your face heat up a little bit. So I did have a little bit of issues with, you know, kind of breathing in the headset and getting some fog, but it certainly kind of depends on how you place your head in the device. And lastly, I did have some issues with the HMD itself, and it's currently not really working right at the moment, so I can't really use the device right now. I have reached out to Pico, and hopefully they will get back to me soon. I'm going to update you guys once I've heard back from them to let you know what their response is. So get ready to see some more updates on this HMD, and if we can get a working one here, I'm going to be doing some developments. So thanks for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.